Hey there, Lego fam. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin, and you're watching Good Life Bricks. And I've got a great video for you today. This set is 75290, the Mos Eisley Cantina. It was released in 2020. It's got 3,187 pieces, 21 minifigures. It is a phenomenal set. The retail price is $399.99, so it's not cheap. But here's why I want to talk to you about this set today. Because typically I do older set reviews or brand new set reviews. Why am I doing a 4-year-old set review? Because this set is retiring in about a month and a half. And I think it's an important set. I think it's a fun set. And I think it's a set that people would really miss if they didn't get the opportunity to pick it up. So I want to make sure that you guys are aware of it. I want to make sure you understand the ins and outs of it. And I want to make sure you get a chance to look at the great minifigure lineup so that you still have time to pick one up if it's something that you desire. So they are hard to find. And if you go on to lego.com, occasionally it might say hard to find or back ordered, but it's also available on occasion. My local Lego store in Gretna, Nebraska has a couple copies. And so I know that there are Lego stores all over the country that have some inventory. And I think this is not something that you want to miss out on. So with that in mind, I do want to ask you, would you please hit the subscribe button so you can get notifications when I release new content? And if you like what you see today, I'd appreciate it if you would hit the like button. That helps Google and YouTube know to deliver my video to more interested parties. So please do that for me if you would. Let's go ahead and dig in. So to recap, set 75290, the Mos Eisley Cantina, comes with 3,187 pieces and 21 minifigures. Now the minifigures are hanging out mostly inside, and we'll take a look at them here soon. But it also comes with basically 5 separate builds that all kind of link together or go together. 2 of the builds you can see right here. These are first the V35 Courier. That's a speeder that they made unique for this set. And then the Ubrikian 9000 Z001. So these are, again, are 2 unique builds to this set. They're pretty cool. They were fun builds. They're fairly small, but they're little speeders that the occupants of the cantina can use to get to and from the cantina, I suppose. It also comes with a dewback, and just for visual sake, I left the Stormtrooper on the dewback. But it's got the full saddle and all of that fun stuff. It was a good addition. And this is his little feeding area with water and a bone, apparently. And then there were a couple different side kind of huts that were connected. And we'll get into those in a little bit more detail. And then, of course, the cantina itself. So there's a lot to talk about, and I'm going to get through it as quickly as I can. And then at the very end, we'll talk about the 21 minifigures. 9 of them are unique to this set, while the rest are have been available in a variety of sets over the course of time. So we'll get into a little bit of that as well. The first portion of the build is the Jawa Shop. There's a sales window here, and if you open up the top, you can get a little bit more light in there. There's also a back door that opens, and you can see parts and equipment and things like that, which is, I think, fairly typical of Jawas. And so, it's kind of It's kind of a cool little addition. The main area here opens up so you can gain access to the inside, and you can see a chair, drinking glass, a little storage container, broom, outdoor kind of water or facility or whatever, and then the other portion of the building itself. And this building, both of the roof pieces come off, so you can gain easier access. And as we take a look and spin it around, there's more equipment, kind of the little bit of a work area and desk and that type of thing throughout. So again, this is the Jawa's facility, and it connects directly to the cantina, and it's a cool kind of build. But as you connect it, it's got two clips and two little connecting pieces so that it can stay in place and be a part of that build. So again, a nice addition, not something that we ever saw really in the movie, but it makes a lot of sense given that it's on the planet Tatooine, and we know the Jawas are ever present there. So we'll move on over to the cantina itself. So the cantina is much bigger. This is the majority of the build, and you can see the level of detail that they put into it. Moisture evaporators on both sides, uh, antennas, and just little pieces of equipment and that type of thing throughout, which really is kind of cool. It's not something that they had to do, but that level of detail just adds so much more to the build itself. So this section back here is an area that we never saw in the movie. We'll take a look at that, but it's kind of a equipment room for storage and that type of thing. And again, we'll look, and then there are a number of booths, and the roof comes off so you can gain easier access. You can see the full bar. You can see, looks like a skirmish is about to break out. Han hanging out with Greedo. Bith musicians. And there's just a variety of little bits and pieces throughout the build that just take you back to A New Hope. And so again, a lot of minifigures. And so the entire build opens up. So let's open it up and take a closer look at this. So this is the set as it's open, and the front door is right over here. No droids allowed, so C-3PO and R2-D2 are hanging out outside, but they've attracted a little bit of interest. A couple stormtroopers, an Imperial spy, perhaps. Then as you come around and open it up a little bit further, you can see the inside of the front door. And you can get a better look at the booths and the detail in each area. And each little booth has a roof piece that comes in off to let in more light. So you can actually gain access to that section, and you can play, or do review videos or what have you. But you see the level of detail and the brick pieces and the lighting and the cups on the table. There's just so much great stuff here. At the bar area, the proprietor, Wooher, he's not unique to this set. He's been in a couple of other sets. And then the bar behind him and all the equipment that was running up above it. Look at the different pieces that they use. The lightsaber hilts and this gun-shaped connection piece, and just all of this great detail. Bottles with different colored lids, different colored materials, and Then you've got the cash register area or the computer area, and bottles hanging up on the wall and on the counter, storage. There's this door that opens to let you in and out of the bar area. And then a railing that goes all the way around the bar, and it's just a hollow flex tube that connects, and they did it all in one piece. So it looks really authentic, and it's one of the things that I really like about this set is the authenticity and the detail. And this is also one of the reasons why I really want to make sure that everybody got a chance to see this, so that you don't miss out if it's something that you might be interested in. So then as you come around the bar to the other side, you see the musicians area. These are 3 Biff horn players, and we saw them in the movie. It's not a full band, but you've got at least 3 of the musicians here, and then various characters. And then you come over here and you see Han Solo and Greedo. So all Star Wars fans know that there's a question about who shot first. And while this set and this scene don't help us answer that question, you do get to simulate when Han actually shoots Greedo, and Greedo, well, he didn't fly over the table, but he did fall forward and die. And so that's a little aspect of this where they have the trigger mechanism right back here, which makes this lever move and apparently shoots Greedo up over the table. So that's kind of cool. And they've got other tables throughout. Chewbacca is sitting over here at one of them, and so just a lot of great detail and a lot of fun, cool kind of opportunities, things that we wouldn't have seen in the movie. This is the area I was talking about earlier, where they keep supplies, kind of broom closet. And if we spin this around, there's a door, so you can see inside or come in and out that way. Again, these aren't things that we saw in the movie, so the Lego folks were able to take a little bit of liberty. But it's kind of a cool feature because, even though we didn't see it in Star Wars, we know that these things exist. We know that there's a cantina, there's going to be a supply closet. We know that there's going to be a cash register. We know all of those different types of things, and Lego did a good job of putting that together. I just think the level of detail to the set, the roof pieces that come off at each section, the roof dome that comes up here, again, another roof piece that comes off here. You can see down where the musicians are playing. And those are just really kind of cool features that allow the set to come to life and allow a level of access that, as a Star Wars fan, I really appreciate. I just think it's great. This is bugging me. I think Greedo just needs to... There. That's how he should have been. So this is one of the reasons I think this set is so good. Now, the other reason is 21 minifigures. I mean, that's just, to me, that's unheard of. So let's take a look at each one of them, and I'll show you the 9 that are unique to this set first, and then we'll go over the remaining. So here are the 9 unique minifigures, and I'll tell you each of their names after we scroll through the 9. Some of them you probably recognize. Of course, you've got 2 stormtroopers. The first is a sand trooper. Very detailed minifigure. As you can see, dirty, got sand all over his uniform. Comes with a backpack, a lot of equipment, a shoulder pauldron, a gun. a really nice looking minifigure. And then there's the Sand Trooper squad leader, who's got the orange pauldron. Similar equipment, but he also comes with a pair of binoculars. This is Dr. Cornelius Evazan, and we've seen him. He was the one who has the death certificate on 12 systems. We also, many years later, saw him in the immediate prequel to A New Hope, Rogue One. Just saw him on Jeddah. So we finally have him as a character. You can see he's got the one bad eye. And then we have the Deveronian Labria. Very unique headpiece to make up the horns and the ears. We see him just really briefly in the cantina scene. I believe he's just sitting there with a big smile on his face. But that's a great addition, a very nice, unique minifigure. Herchek Kalfas is a Sauron, and he's also present. We see him very briefly. What we used to call Hammerhead, he's the Ithorian Mamau Nadan is his name. I don't know if there's another Ithorian minifigure out there, but that's a cool addition. I think most people will know Ponda Baba. He's an Aqualish. He was the one that was very aggressive, along with Dr. Evazan, and ended up getting his arm cut off by Obi-Wan. And then I think Garandon is probably familiar to most people. He's the Imperial spy. He's the one that called in Han and Chewie and the Millennium Falcon, their location. And then the final unique figure is a Shadrafan, Cabe or Cabe, female, and a cool addition. Great headgear that gives her the large bat-like ears and the kind of the bat nose or pig kind of nose. So those are the unique minifigures. And here we have the rest of the cast. Many familiar faces. Should mostly all be familiar faces, I think. We're starting here with Obi-Wan. He's in a couple different sets in this form. The bartender, Wooher, he owns the cantina. He's in at least one other set, another play set of the Mos Eisley Cantina. Greedo, who's in a couple different sets. I love what they do here with the head mold. I just think it's a great look. I like how they make the eyes almost look like they're reflective. And then we have the Jawa, and he's in several different sets in this version with the double strap across the chest. And then the New Hope version of Luke in his white outfit. They did a great job on this hair piece, although I had to have the hair piece replaced because the line and the new one that they sent me also had a line, but it just wasn't as bad. So I kind of let it go. Han Solo. And this is a Han that we saw the first time we saw Han. He was wearing this outfit, shooting Greedo. Next, of course, C-3PO. Nothing real special about this version of C-3PO. We've seen him in other sets, but he does have full body printing, full abdomen printing, and then full front leg printing, which is nice. And then there's three versions of the it's the same Bith musician, but there's three versions of the instrument that they gave. And these instruments are just simply brick built. So this is a two-piece build. This guy has a three-piece build for his. And then another two-piece build. But you see the builds, the instrument builds themselves are unique. So I thought that was a nice touch. The minifigs are the same. They're the same item number, and then you've got the version of R2-D2 that I prefer, although there is one a little bit newer from 2022 that has back printing. This one has the full dome printing down to almost to the body. So versus the older ones that just had the partial dome printing. And then the mighty Chewbacca, who is probably one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. Very loyal. I just think he would be my friend if I lived in the Star Wars universe. I just know we'd be buddies. So I'm a fan of this character, and I'm glad that he's been in so many of the different movies and the different sets. They've done very little to change Chewie's look over the years. This version of Chewbacca goes back quite a ways, a number of years. So there's probably been 3 or 4, maybe 5 different versions of Chewbacca over the last 25 years. That would be, for someone who is so present in so many sets, that's unique that they've done so few. But what could they change? I mean, he looks like he looks, and there are very little bits of change that have happened over the years. There's a version of him with goggles. There's a version of him with a double bandolier from the Solo movie period, but very little other change. I just think 21 minifigures for a set, I know I keep saying it, I just think that's amazing. And that's one of the reasons that I like the 2 entries for the Master Builder series for Lego Star Wars, because they are very generous with the minifigures, and the builds are really nice too. This was a fun build, and this was very much like Jabba's sail barge. I took my time on this one. I think I built it over the course of 3 days, maybe 3 hours a day or so, and really had a lot of fun. And I just really spent time getting into the detail, because I think it's one of the things that's really cool about these bigger sets. So if this is a set you have an interest in, I would encourage you to take a quick look and see if you can find it. I know that when it retires, the price is going to start to really go up. And I'm not one who has to buy a set brand new. In fact, I find that I get better pricing a lot of the time if I buy a set that is used and needs some pieces added to it. That doesn't bother me. I think that's what Bricklink is for. And you can get pieces at a great price and finish off sets. But if you like this set, I would go shopping and looking, because I think this is a great set and it is a phenomenal set to display. I keep it up behind me on top of my display cabinets. So during all my videos, you can see it right behind me, along with Jabba's sail barge now, because I just think it's a phenomenal display. And I'm really glad I own it. It was expensive, but it's worth it and looks outstanding. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you have a good sense for why I like this set so much. There's a lot of great content, a lot of great detail, 21 minifigures, which is kind of unheard of. And it really is a worthwhile set to add to your collection. So I wouldn't wait. There's a good chance that it will be difficult to get again. So I would encourage you to go take a look if it's something that you're interested in getting. Again, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I appreciate you being here. And I hope that you'll click the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel and continue to be able to get alerts when I put out new content. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend.